You're listening to Reweaving Systems from Nervous to Regulated. I'm Jana Shalom, educator, multidimensional weaver, and your real-time nervous system master regulator. This is not a podcast. This is an attunement lab and the audible expression of a living transmission called Weaving Legacy. Here, we move through a living sequence, a truth that shakes something loose. Then, the pause. Feel our bodies, the bracing, the breath, the return. We don't regulate perfectly, we regulate together. And once we're back with ourselves, we name the systems that taught us to disconnect in the first place. Because programs don't change people. Regulated people change people. This is where we shift from the survival spiral to the re-inhabiting spiral, where we learn to come home to ourselves in real time, where the sanctuary garden door opens from the inside. If your nervous system has been waiting for a place to relax into truth at a pace that it actually needs, then welcome home. This is the voice of a living lineage. Let the transmission call us back into our bodies. Let the weaving root into our daily lives. Hi, this is Reweaving Systems from Nervous to Regulated. I'm Jana Shalom. You're listening to Season 0, Episode 7, part of the second Moonloom arc, Orientation Without Self-Erasure. This episode arrives on the full moon, when clarity sharpens and what has been sensed becomes easier to see. Today's episode is called Polaris's Permissions. And as awareness stabilizes and intensity becomes easier to stay with, clarity is often what follows. We see more, we feel more. Edges come into our view. And for many of us, this is the moment where old patterns return. The urge to decide to move, to translate clarity into action. Yet, we pause here. Because clarity does not require our movement. Clarity asks for orientation. We orient before we regulate. Polaris is not a map. She does not tell us where to go. Polaris is an orienting presence. She helps us align with coherence. Again, coherence meaning where our inner and our outer worlds come together. When movement is uncleared, delayed, or unavailable, Polaris does not speak in commands. She speaks in orientation. And when we face this way, we do not lose ourselves. That is the work Polaris does. Coherence has been referenced quietly throughout this arc. Here it comes into full view. Coherence is the feeling of being all here. The nervous system is no longer split, no longer pulled in one direction or another, performing this task or doing that. Coherence does not mean life is easy. It means our inner experience and the outer posture that we walk in the world with remain in conversation. Grief can be present during this time. Fear can move through us. Clarity can arrive without this urgency. And that's what coherence feels like when we're no longer abandoning ourselves in order to function. This is the reference point Polaris orients us towards, not perfection, not resolution, but a wholeness that we can stay in. Orientation does not arrive as instruction. It arrives as a felt sense of what keeps us whole. Let's slow our pace here, because what follows is Polaris's permissions. Polaris orients us towards our own coherence, and when the path allows movement at a nervous system speed, orientation remains. When urgency is required, orientation thins. When provision is possible without fragmentation, meaning we don't have to deny parts of ourselves in order to belong. When that happens, coherence becomes the cost that orientation thins. When rest can occur without destabilization, orientation remains. When stopping feels dangerous, orientation has already been lost. When engagement can shift in capacity, orientation remains. When overextension is required to belong, orientation thins. And when pause and repair are assumed, orientation remains. When fear enforces compliance, orientation thins. And when grief, joy, illness, uncertainty, and change are all allowed, orientation remains. When vulnerability is required, our orientation remains. But when we are asked to be inauthentic, our orientation thins. And when we can still recognize ourselves, even though the direction we might be facing is not the one we had planned, orientation remains. This is the quietest knowing and the most reliable. Polaris does not promise ease. She does not promise approval. She offers orientation. Clarity is present without the pressure to change. With that, threads for today have been woven. Join us for the next episode. There, our nervous system authority settles as something locational, not earned, not evaluated, not elsewhere. We look forward to weaving with you again. You just moved through Reweaving Systems from Nervous to Regulated, the Nervous System Attunement Lab, where regulation happens in real time, where we take a breath, we feel our bodies, not perfectly, but honestly. We notice what shifted, what softened, what resisted, what came online even for a moment. If something stirred awake today, that isn't a sign that you're done. That's a sign that you're practicing the slow, steady work of returning to yourself. This work moves in spirals, not straight lines. We don't regulate once, we return again and again. Each time a little deeper, each time with a little bit more permission. And if today pushed you past your edges, that's part of the path. Edges are where remembering begins. This isn't content we're moving through. This is a living frequency, a lineage-held transmission that reshapes us as we walk it. To keep walking the path of somatic knowing, mythic remembering, and lineage weaving, meet us at Journey the Weave on Substack. And for deeper embodiment and spirit-born insight, enter Journey the Spirit Weave, our paid Substack tiered. Remember, our bodies are not the problem. Our nervous systems are not the obstacle. They are portals we are relearning how to trust. And if just one of us practices coming home to ourselves, systems begin to change. We'll see each other at the next episode. Until we weave again.